Hi, this is Autodesk 3D Studio Max Elementary Course, Unit 2, Lecture 4 example. And in today's lecture, I'm going to continue the previous Unit 2, Lecture 4, which we talked about the 2D shape and extrusion. But in this part of this lecture, I'm going to show you actually how to import from AutoCAD and how to deal with layers and how to change that into a 3D Studio Max geometry in exact detail. So first I'm going to talk of how to create a 3D geometry from AutoCAD or from 2D AutoCAD, importing that CAD file and how we deal with its layer or separate it into layers or files. Then we have the assignments number 4 and then homework number 4. And basically this assignment is previously made by me and it's already posted on YouTube, and I'm going to show you later on how to do this homework, which is technically for my dear student. We did that as an exam, so I'm going to solve the exam for you so you can have better understanding of how it was or how actually it will be solved. So how to create 3D geometry. In order to create 3D geometry, first you have to deal with the CAD units and make sure that your CAD units are the same as the 3D Studio Max units. And I'm going to show you that practically, just a good understanding of a quick look at the slides. And then if you miss this, actually it's going to be a big issue because incorrect geometries are going to be generated. You're either going to have very small and very tiny plan, very tall height, or the other way around, if you have very big plan and very small height, if you miss the units of CAD to Max, maybe this milli and this 1 meters, or the other way around. Inch to meter, if this was an inch, the CAD, and Max was meter, it's another issue. It's also going to be incorrect. Again, so we're going to try to get this AutoCAD plan into 3D Studio Max and try to export them from AutoCAD to Max and then extrude them to create 3D geometries. So first we have to open AutoCAD file, and then we have to make sure of the units inside AutoCAD, and then we import that. Of course, before we actually start to separate each unit or each geometry, we need to turn off all the unrequired dimension and notation. Then using polyline or boundary to create closed loop, and then with the right block command, we're going to send each closed loop that represent a single part of the building into a 3D Studio Max, and then in Max we're going to import it, and then we're going to start to look at two things, which is where it is located, which is the Z value, and then the amount of extrusion. I know this method, I know you might Google and you might search in YouTube lots of other way of exporting, and they depend on sending the entire plan into 3D Studio Max. In this method, I'm going to send each geometry by itself. So those golden 3 rules are really important for you to understand, and I'm going to show them. I'm going to show it to you during the exercise, which is the exterior wall must be taking the Z value from the lowest point, and then you have to calculate the extrusion based on drawing a simple section, which is a difference between, it depends actually when you're going to stop it. The height of the wall, is it going to stop at the lower side of the slab, or it's going to go all the way up to the baluster or the parapet. I'm going to show you that again inside 3D Studio Max. And then point number 2, all horizontal surfaces, slab, walkway, and garden, their Z value is actually are the same as what you ever given in AutoCAD, and the extrude will always be a negative value of their representing their thickness. In the class, in my class, I will always assume them minus 200 mil. Anyway, interior walls actually always been taken from the Z value. Their location is sitting on the floor finish, and their height is the same as the room height, so you're going to go to the upper level minus the lower level minus the slab thickness. It's a good hint to draw a simple or quick section and on a small piece of paper in order to get the height, especially with the exterior walls. A little bit confusing sometimes. Anyway, so in this assignment which I gave to my student, this is basically, we've done that, I've done the video about that, and it's posted like 6 or 7 months ago, I can't remember. So you can go to my channel, Firas Noori, and have a look at this, how it's been made. So for today, that's the end of result, by the way. For today, I'm going to do this one, and it's basically titled homework number 4, and we did that in the class as an exam. So I'm gonna solve that exam for you, so let's do that. So in AutoCAD, actually I have that pre-open for you, So that's my AutoCAD. So I will start. The first thing to be done is to go and check units. So I'm gonna write units here in AutoCAD and have a look at the unit. It's millimeters, just understand them, and then go to 3D Studio Max and then customize your unit setup and then make them here millimeter, and again here, and make sure they are millimeter. So we're all good. So back to CAD, and now with the off layer command, turn off everything that you don't need, starting from the grid, bubbles, and the dimensions, and definitely the hatch. In this case, this line is locating in a scary place, so I'm just gonna push it that way. You know, text probably here. So now that's my building, and as you can see that that's the exterior walls of it. So I'm gonna start always with the exterior walls, and the exterior walls goes all the way up from -200 into plus 5200. Turn me this off also. So before I go, I'll go layers, and then in the layers I'm gonna create new layer. I'm gonna call it 000 or whatever, just to see it in the first here, making it active, choosing whatever kind of color that you hate, or like any other color that's not really available here in the plan. So close it, anything that make it really drag your attention. Anyway, polyline and then space, trace the outlines quickly as such, and when you reach the last time, or the last point, sorry, just hit C space to close and make a closed loop, hit offset, and then 250 if my guess still correct. So that's the outer walls. Ignore any opening, ignore the partitions now, no windows, no doors, assume they are not, never existed, and then use the right block command, which is W, which is basically the same as block if you get into the interface, but it isn't taking those lines and make them as a block. Rather than they took those yellow lines, and we're going to send them outside to the desktop, for example, and make them a separated AutoCAD file. So select objects, and then with the click, don't use the drag method or crossing. We need just those two lines, and hit space again. And yes, it's gonna be goes. I can just go ahead and pick the desktop here, and the default name will be new and block. That's all. And then hit save, and then hit OK. Now, even if you want to go to the desktop and open it, you're gonna find just two lines. So we're separating this two lines and make them in a separated AutoCAD file. Again, I'm going to Max, and in 3D Studio Max here I can go import and go to the desktop. That's my file, new block, and hit OK, and it's gonna jump here immediately. So back to the CAD. Again, this guy, it's an exterior wall. So if we go back to PowerPoint tell you it's following the lowest point, which is this guy. And because if you make it 0, 0 and you're standing outside, you don't want to see the entire building flying, you know. So that's a -200. That's where the Z, that's where the Z value. So select that guy, right click on the move, and make the Z -200. And then back to CAD, from -200, the extrusion to 5200 will be 5400. Again, draw a section where you have a 0 level in it. You have 200 mil beneath it where this is standing, and 5200 above. So 5200 up and 200 down. So technically have 5400 as an extrusion value. So again, go ahead and here extrude, and have that 5400 for you. Now zoom out. That's your building. It looks like a very dark. I don't know. I know. So just go ahead, standard, and you can pick any material you like, standard material, and I'm gonna drop that in here. All right. Keep that here. So that's my first building here, or my first architectural element. See, I'm bringing them one by one, not by bringing the entire AutoCAD. Now that's it. Now I will export only the inside, of that and make it the lower slab. So right block again and select, shouldn't select it, it's already been selected, and keep the default place, okay, and replace, back to max again, and then Alt Fi or file import, whatever method you like, and you're gonna see that that's the ground floor here. That's the single line came. Make sure that you are not selecting the extrude, so probably a couple of selecting here. And again, the second rule set for horizontal spaces, it's Z, which is that axis. It's actually the same as the whatever provided, which is 0 in AutoCAD. So happy coincidence. I'm not going to change anything. So just go to extrude here and give it the -200 extrusion, which is we're going to keep in our old class just a -200. So that's my slab. See, lovely. Now while I'm still selecting it, I'm gonna hit Control V and instance or copy. I'm gonna go copy. I'm gonna place it or copy it in a place. So we have two slabs here, and I'm gonna raise this to 4,000, one of them, to cover up the building. And that's because I know that the slab here, the highest slab or the roof, is actually 4,000 as a level. One of them on 0, one of them of 4,000, while this goes to the 5,200, which is the parapet. Now that's great, as I have now the building. As you can see, if I maximize this, you can see that it's fully enclosed and it's in a good condition. So probably you might need to hit F4 to see the see the edge lines. All right, and now again back to CAD. I'll just go ahead and create the outside walkway again, and in this case I'm gonna turn off those. It's -200. I feel lazy to go with the polyline, so go BO boundary, hit space, and then hit space again, and just make sure you see all the boundary you want to create. Don't like doing like this, which is chopping part of it outside, just like this, and then click once, and it's gonna sense and draw all the boundaries for you like that. So I'm gonna select this guy and this guy because I don't want, this is the whole slab. And when you select the second closed loop, it's gonna make sure that it's gonna be empty because there is a reinforced concrete slab for the ground floor here, and this is just the walkway. Anyway, right block and then okay, and then replace, back to max, Alt Fi, and then new block. Here we go. This have to be placed again, same as AutoCAD. So if you don't remember, I'm gonna activate all. It should be -200, so same. The horizontal slabs, any horizontal surfaces must have their Z value or Z value similar to whatever you have in AutoCAD. So -200. And the extrude also -200. We're gonna fix the extrude for -200 for all horizontal slab, and that's my walkway. Same thing for the garden, which is -400. Turning off quickly things here. And again, boundary, while I'm seeing all, pick point, and then here, click. Right block, and then I'm gonna go to max, Alt and F and I, and then you block, and here we go. It should sit on -400 as such, 200 mil from this. Copy this guy, extrude, and paste it here to the garden, and drag the same material to the hole, and you can see now we have this step. And finally we go to the exterior wall. I'm gonna use rectangle command from here, and then rectangle here, and by clicking, not by crossing, I'm gonna select those two, right block them, hit OK, and replace. Keep saving on the same file, and then import it. Now where to place them? Now if I activate all the stuff here again, it should follow the lower level, and thank God I didn't add any external level, so it should go to the -400 because it is adjacent to minus 400 and minus 200. So the lower is actually minus 400, which is minus 400 or 400 mil lower than 0, 0, and then 600. So the Z will be minus 400, following rule number 2. And the height, which is the amount of extrusion, will be exactly 1000. Let's do that. So this guy should sit on minus 400, and the extrude should goes to 1000. And I'm gonna drop that here as such. Now we finish everything from outside, so need the partition in the opening, so turn off again. So for partitions, I'm gonna go, that's number 1 and that's number 2, and then right block this guy and then this guy. Ignore the existence of door opening for now, and then import them here. And now I can see them because they are inside. It's okay, just hit F3 to get the wireframe mode. They are here. They should sit exactly based on rule number 3, the Z value on the ground floor finish in AutoCAD, which is 0. So another happy coincidence. So paste that. The height should be the difference between the roof, which is the upper level, and the lower level. So 4000 minus the thickness or the level of this, which is 0, so 4000, and then minus again the thickness of this slab, so technically 3800. See, exactly. So I'm gonna place the material on them like that, and you can just go ahead and by the way, if you feel that unlikely and you hate this wireframe mode, so hit F3 again and use those guys here to turn those off one by one. So I think that's lovely. You can see those, whatever, which is which. See, the partitions perfectly sit and perfectly located. See, and you see this, you see this, right? We created because the slab is still here, so we don't need this to go that way, under the slab, because we already have a slab, and while our walls is fitting everything in its place as such. Really nice to navigate that and understand how they work. Let's get this finished. So I'm gonna do this rectangle. The door, I'm gonna click here and then I'm gonna hover above. So I'm putting my mouse above this without touching it. Move my mouse to the left using polar or the ortho, I think here, intersection. Move this rectangle that way. This represents the box that I'm gonna cut off from the exterior wall, representing this double door. It should be actually bigger than the wall. That's why I created from this point and then I push it that way. That's for the wall. So right block again, back to max, Alt and F and I, and then we got that. I'm gonna place this on the 0, 0 level as here, and I'm gonna add an extrude for it. It should go like I don't know, 4200, sorry, 2400 or 2200, and I'm gonna add that to it. And let me double check, because here we have the text. So if I on that quickly, see, the sill is 1000 and then the height of the window 1200. So yes, it's right, 2200, following those guys. Again, I'm gonna go under, actually, easier. Cool. So now rectangle, let's draw the windows. So click here and then move your hand, hover above this point, push your hand up perpendicularly. So move that down. Oops. Move that down with something like a hit. Cool. And the same thing here. I'm gonna send all windows in the same object, so they're gonna be the same object over there in max, which is this guy and this guy. And the same thing here, Alt Fi, same file. A bit of quick method. If you get practice to it, again, from the sill I get in the AutoCAD, the height should be 1000 and the extrude should be 2 sorry, 1200. Add the material to it, and here we go. Now let's open those from the exterior wall. Get used to select the exterior wall, and then in the create drop down menu compound, go pro boolean, and then start picking, and then select that guy, and then arc rotate, and then select the door. And that's what I want, you know, really nice. I know you have to have this threshold because this is lower than that. There is no overhang or balcony or anything, so it's good to keep this distance higher than this one, the inside from the outside, to prevent the rain from getting inside. Great, now we need to get rid of the inside doors, so let's open them. Same method, copy that like such, and then right block them to get them out. Again, Alt and F9, guys, get this in. Again, if you don't see them, it's okay, just hit F3 or use those to, you know, hide whatever thing that prevent you from seeing. Again, they are 0, 0, and the exit road 2200. All doors are actually sitting on the floor finish, and now I don't see them, so F3, it's boring and hard to get them with material without seeing them, so let me turn off the whole thing. Now which one is which? Should have named them anyway, like that. Great. Now again, get rid of this guy and this guy. Probably we need the partitions like this, see? Lovely. Select the outside thing, select the thing that actually gonna stay, and then pro boolean the rest like this. Make sure you are sending those as the same object and the doors both as the same object, so when you select both of them with one pick for those, they're gonna delete it. If you send this one as an entire separated object, then you have to trim that as a separated object and then repeat sending this and then send this guy, which is the opening. Just be careful with this. Anyway, so turn on everything. That's about it, guys. That's how we solve the exam or the homework that we have. Actually, we did it as an exam in the class, so that's my work. I turn off this, and that's it. I wish that you find this as a useful exercise. It's very simple and basic house, a very basic elementary way of sending from AutoCAD to 3D Studio Max, and it's very accurate, as you can see. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day. Bye bye.